When we look to design a room, it can be very easy to fall into an instructional type mindset. We go into a mode of following directions where we completely forget why we chose to change that room in the first place. We start treating the room like a math equation based on what others have dictated as correct in design. If I have this paint color, then I guess I should have this type of furniture. And if I have this type of furniture, well then, I guess that means I need this type of decor. Everything becomes this type of A plus B equals C trajectory. It's too restrictive. It eliminates the ability to evoke. It's mechanical, and it puts constraints on what should be a more free-flowing process. When constructing a room, it's important to remember the underlying factors that have led you to this point. Why are you designing this room? Is it out of utility? Is it emotion? Is it both? Think of shopping for a car. What is the purpose that this new car is going to serve in your life? Is it simply to get you from point A to point B? Is it a gift to yourself as a reward for something that you recently achieved? Is it an element of prestige? Nothing wrong with that, to signify the things that you have accomplished in life. Or is it a self-identifier? I have worked to become this type of person, and this type of person gets to enjoy this type of car. Today, I'm going to show you how we turned a basement into what most would consider a main level design. If you're a returning subscriber, hit the thumbs up. If you're new here, hopefully by the end of this video, you'll be a subscriber. Remember that if you would like my help in designing your room, you can have that help by clicking the link in the description below. Let's turn towards the computer and you'll be able to see what I see. Dan, the customer and subscriber, had approached us with this basement saying that he wanted to transform it. As you can see, up to this point, the basement was fairly basic. This is a very common look that you're going to find in homes which have recently been renovated or just built nowadays. The basements have that stark and cold appearance, which is intended to be appealing, but I've just never figured out who the intended audience is. Dan was pretty much an open book in regards to doing what we needed to do in order to accomplish the look that he wanted. The only requests he had were that we keep the gray hardwood flooring and keep the kitchenette in place. He was, however, open to changing the color of that kitchenette. The overarching theme he was going for was this masculine, traditional vintage lounge. He described it as being a bit of a man cave of sorts, but based on our discussion, I knew that he was referring to the denotation of a man cave as opposed to the common connotation it's attached to. This room was going to serve as a getaway area where he could pursue everything he enjoys and strives for as an individual. It would be a place of thought. It would be a place of study, a place of relaxation, and a place of work. It was to be a gentleman's retreat. Some requests that Dan had to incorporate into this design were the following: an office desk, a seating area with couches, a TV, a coffee table, a space to eat, bookshelves, a ventless fireplace, plants, and accents of either copper, brass, or gold. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we came up with. The styling of this room was so enjoyable to come up with because I myself am partial to this theme and type of style. We wanted the room to present sophistication and class. It was to be studious, well-groomed, and gentlemanlike, and I think we achieved just that. Starting with the center seating area, we combined rich wood with brown leather, and that's a classic traditional look. Now, to ensure that those elements did not clash with the gray flooring we had, we included a large area rug which pulled colors from all around the room and based them at the platform of the design. The artwork you see above the center sofa there is by the artist Sergei Marshenikov, and it contained the exact color palette we were using with the furnishings, so it was an excellent choice and an easy way to pull the theme from a lower line of sight and bring it up to that mid-level line of sight. If you're wondering, the paint color that we used here is called Iron Ore. It's made by Sherwin-Williams, and it was their color of the month back in March of 2022. The work desk was one of the lighter tones of wood that we used in the room, that being acacia. So to complement it and bring it back to center, we used a black leather chair accompanied by a sort of royal mahogany trim. If we would have used a brown color for the entirety of the chair, it's possible that it would have worked. But it felt like a little too much brown and red for me, given the large leather seating chair that you can see right beside it. Dan did mention that he wanted to incorporate some academia into the design, so the built-in bookshelves serve that purpose. And nearly midway between the bookshelves and the fireplace is the lounge chair, which presumably would most often be used for reading. Sitting next to a fireplace in a comfortable chair, firewood at your feet ready to be used as fuel, and a great book in your hand is such a classic image, which of course goes back centuries and felt extremely right in this room. Now, the nature of basements is that they tend to be widespread. It's a single room, which nearly spans across the entire blueprint of the home. What this results in is a lot of uninteresting ceiling. So what we did to combat that is very simple. We added a few ceiling beams. The ceiling height in this basement is not incredibly high. So painting the beams the same color as the ceiling allows them to serve the purpose of interrupting that monotony while still fading to the background as to not create a claustrophobic type of feel. The original kitchen here in the basement was a kitchenette, as you could see from the original design, meaning a smaller, more compact kitchen, typically with less utility. You often see these in new luxury studio apartments. The units are so small that they'll use these one-wall kitchens to conserve the space available. But the footprint of this basement is large, and it's large enough to not have to neglect ourselves of having an inviting, welcoming, proper kitchen. So the easiest thing to do was to include a nice, prominent island. And for Dan, this could serve as an eating area, it could be a bar, it could be a place to host. When you end up with a really well-tailored space in your home, you do enjoy it for yourself, but you almost inevitably want to share it with other people. So this island would allow for the gathering space of friends, where you can provide refreshments, small bites to eat, or have a full spread if you want to. It's a space where the conversation begins, and then it makes its way to the seating area. As you can clearly see, the kitchen color scheme was changed and painted to fit that of the rest of the room. We did 4 things to make sure that that iron ore paint did not overwhelm this section of the basement. The first is that we incorporated these black iron and light wood bar stools that helped differentiate them from the island's color. The second is that we installed caged pendant lights, which preferably would use Edison bulbs with an amber glow. This is something that I gravitate towards, and it's actually a great trick to change the presence of a room completely just by switching out some bulbs. The third was placing these pecan-stained wood planks on the ceiling to add a little bit of interest. And the fourth and last element was including a countertop, with the decor of that countertop being wood, copper, and black tones. You have now seen the creation of a gentleman's proper lounge and basement. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up. If you feel like sticking around a while, feel free to subscribe. See you on the next one.